All right, so guys, I'm at it's a function 10, graph 10. I was just gonna go graph it. So f of x equal to x squared minus 1. There was a reason we were looking for domain, even though the worksheet doesn't ask you for domain. So what if I want to graph this out of from very beginning? So which is your test gonna have a question that is gonna ask you domain x-intercept, y-intercept, vertical asymptote, horizontal asymptote, f prime of x, increasing, decreasing, maximum, minimum, f double prime of x, concave, up, down, inflection point, and then graph the function. I will ask you all that to ask you to graph it. So then you have to go through the f of x, f prime of x, f double prime of x. So what is the x-intercept in this particular place? X-intercept is what? X equal to 0. So it's actually 0, 0. You gotta give me like x equal to 0 is a vertical line. So you gotta give me a coordinates. Okay. And the y-intercept is happen in this case is 0 over 0 as well. So this one's actually a lot easier than it is. Then you have a domain, right? What is the domain of this function? Well, x cannot equal to -1 and 1. So if you negative infinity, -1 to 1. Okay, this is gonna coming back crucial actually when you're doing the second derivative. This matters. A lot of cases. The vertical asymptote x equal to 1, x equal to -1. This also matter as well, just as good as domain. So you have to know that. Horizontal asymptote, that's going to be y equal to 0. And this is a very, very important for the final graph. So now what we're going to do is going to go in to find out f prime of x. And yes, it's going to be unfortunately low d high minus high d low over low low. And then that's going to give you x squared minus 1 minus 2x squared over x squared minus 1 over squared. So that's going to give you a negative x squared minus 1 over x squared minus 1 squared. What actually I would do is I will actually factor out a negative sign. So that's going to be x squared plus 1 over x squared minus 1 squared. Now you're going to say, well, there is a critical point. Critical point is -1 and 1. Even though that is on the denominator, you still have to including on the testing. You cannot just let it go. So what I would do is actually do this x squared plus 1. Now, if you realize doesn't matter what number I plug in, x squared plus 1 is always what? Positive. And then times negative, so the whole spectrum is negative. Does that make sense? And now x squared minus 1 to the square, if some number is always square, it doesn't matter what you plug in, it's always positive. So you actually, for the one or few times, you got everything decreasing. So you can have function that's always decreasing like this, which is kind of rare, but it happens. And yeah. So then is 1 and -1 a relative min or max? Actually, it's not, right? It's not. Not only it's not even a point. Even it does change sign. As I change decreasing, increasing, decreasing, the -1 and 1 still cannot be a maximum minimum because original domain doesn't allow x equal to 1 or -1. Yes.
So on this type of question, like if we were to see something similar to this, would we just not cancel out square minus 1? Like we recognize that it's not in the domain, but we would not cancel it out so we can still make sure we find all the intervals.
Yeah, because I will ask you interval increasing, decreasing. You cannot just not include it. You cannot just say negative infinity to infinity is always negative, but there is actually decreasing on 3 different intervals, and it's not decreasing at 1 or -1 because of the asymptote. Okay, so now let me go to double prime. Now, yeah, you guys have to be very good at taking derivatives. So it's going to be low d high minus high t low, which is 2, times x squared minus 1 to the 2x over x squared minus 1 to the 4th. Any questions here? Now, to make my life easier, I will factor out GCF on the numerator, so it'll be x squared minus 1. And once I factor out, I'm going to get x squared minus 1 times negative 2x. And if I factor it out, that's going to be plus 4x times x squared plus 1. All over x squared minus 1 to the 4th. Hopefully you guys got this part. If I did make mistake, let me know. Did I make mistake? I'm just gonna keep on going until you guys stop. So this one's gonna cancel out this. You can factor out 2x. I'm not just gonna leave it there for now. So this is just gonna simplify down to x squared minus 1 to the 3rd. And this one's gonna be negative 2x to the 3rd plus 2x plus 4x to the 3rd plus 4x. So that is going to give you a 2x cubed plus 6x over x squared minus 1 to the 3rd. So that is, I can factor out 2x on the top. So that's going to be x squared plus 2. Oh, x plus 3 over x squared minus 1 to the square. To the 3rd, sorry. So therefore, do I need to test x squared plus 3? Why not? It's always positive. So I can ignore that because that doesn't contribute sign changes. So 2x and x squared minus 1 square, to the 3rd, sorry. So to the 3rd, I need a test. To the 2nd, I don't need a test. To the 2nd is always positive. So it's going to be negative 1, 1. And that's going to give you 0, 0. So that's going to give you negative, negative. Wait, hold on a second.
Yeah, negative plus.
Positive, positive. Okay. And this one's going to be positive, negative, negative, positive, I think. So it's a positive, negative, positive, negative. So we're going to go through all that. We're going to say, okay, well, that's decreasing, decreasing, decreasing. This is a concave down, up, down, up. And then now I got all the information, which is that's why it takes so long for this test. So that's why I give you a block period to do it. Last time, like people had to take 2 periods to do it. So last year, BC student had 2 periods to do it. So this year you have 1 block period, which is nice. And I heard like Saturday, Friday is like activity day or something. I'm gonna play ping pong in this room. Huh? Who come up with this shit?
Superintendent. Are you guys playing? Super dumb idea.
What's her name again?
Maria Baskin? Yeah, that lady. Not very nice.
She's not? She sounds like a nice lady.
Instead of joining a club, can I come like?
Well, I think ping pong is one of the things on the list, right?
They ask about that. No, they're not.
You cannot take my ping pong table. I bought my ping pong table.
Yeah, okay, but I'm saying like they can just volunteer ping pong. They don't have a table.
What are they gonna do?
You don't play.
Huh?
It's like an interest group.
Interest group? Wait, does the teacher have to participate in this?
Yeah, you have to watch the students walk around the gym and make sure they don't run off.
Alright, so what we're gonna do is we actually gonna give you the most point by looking at a graphing, and we're gonna sketch those graphs. So at 1 and -1, so we're gonna say this is a 1, this is a -1, and at 0, so there is an asymptote here, and there was an asymptote here, and there's an asymptote here. Now you gotta think about a possibility, right? So first of all, it's decreasing and concave down, I believe. Yeah, decreasing concave down. So it cannot be this. Why cannot be this?
Yeah, concave up. No.
Well, it's concave down and decreasing, but why it's not this one? Because horizontal asymptote. So it has to be this way. So the graph, so you have to have very, very good intuition about this kind of stuff. Of course, that's not gonna cross on this side. You want to plateau. You also the end behavior, you want to plateau towards 0. Now we know 0, 0 is a cross. So you got a concave up and down. Now there's asymptote. So there's asymptote, so there's no a inflection point at -1 and 1. Even though you might claim that it's inflection point, I'm gonna say it's inflection point if you put -1, x equal to -1, x equal to +1, it will be wrong. So therefore it's gonna be concave up and then concave down. And this end up be like this.
Wait, so it goes to horizontal.
In the middle region, yes. In the middle region, you can, because horizontal asymptote is like,
You can do it.
yeah, you are maybe gay. No, you are eventually gay, but in the middle part of your life, you can
You're like closeted.
you are like experienced with different. So Joshua's maybe gay. What if both of you guys are gay?
Obviously gay.
We are live streaming this.
Yeah.
All right, so this is the concave up and decreasing. So the graph is all decreasing. If you realize, if you look from left to right, it's always decreasing. So this is a good question to put on a test. You know, you have to make sure that you graph out everything and come out correctly. And so, I don't know. Any questions?
What?
No, today is analyzing graph, but I'm gonna give you one more question on curve sketching. So right now, I'm gonna give you a couple questions on curve sketching. One of them is gonna be on the test. X square root of 9 minus x squared.
Yeah, there's no main function in 3.
What?
3 is -3. Why? Well,
You restrict the graph within the domain. It is fun.
I do ping pong every day, Mr.
I heard a lot of teachers complain about me having ping pong in my. Like Davis is complaining about it, or
Anything and everything under the sun. But it's gonna be on the text. But himself.
Davis and the Greenwald and then
About the students, but never him. Never his.
Davis. I don't know why they are upping with me though. I'm just having ping pong table. I paid for the damn table. They were saying they're gonna take away my table or something. Somebody was telling me that. They're gonna take away my ping pong table or something. I'm gonna fight them if they do.
Are you gonna fight?
Wait, when do we have to fight?
Yeah, I'm gonna fight.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I think it's like that.
I will fight them.
3 hours.
I pay for my damn table.
Minus one. Oh wait, you guys changed for this.
Are you doing,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is, right? Well, no, I'm not talking about zero is zero. That's fine.
Aiden, you doing okay? You doing okay?
I can do like the second half of everything. The first half is a little like. I can get the derivatives in the line. Oh shit.
Okay.
Yo, chill out.
You asked me what's that?
That's algebra 1.
He derived the last question actually. He did x over x minus
Like a learning curve.
Those are defined. 3 and negative 3 does define. But outside of 3 and negative 3 it's not defined.
No,
No, it's not symmetric.
plug in 4. 9 times 16.
Oh, I know.
No.
You're setting it even in the machine. There's no. What?
Why would it be?
No, plug in negative. Divide by.
No, there's no.
So this one is 0 and then inside we're going to plus 1 is 3, right?
X intercept, Aiden. X intercept is y equal to 0. Y intercept is x equal to 0.
So if I said
What did you get for your? Well, I said I did 18. Whatever. I didn't say it's Hi.
okay, if you plug in
Negative.
go 0 and then the sign first, right? Yeah. Go be plus minus 2. Why not?
Aiden, Ben, get to work.
Oh yeah, also right. No, but I'm on domain. What else? 9 or 3
Oh, I should do the first more. That's a good thing.
In this bottom, it's
How did I get it?
less than extra.
and then 3 and then 2.
Which you prefer that?
That's in my opinion. That's a good explanation, but it's more complicated.
Well, everybody I got negative x squared equals x.
Oh, and then you apply a negative. You know this.
Okay, well, if I square both sides, you just put the denominator already on top, right?
We got a little. Well, this domain is hopefully it's fine.
Are you still using my pen?
It's at the top of your
Why understand? Oh my gosh. We are
Negative. Mr. Gang. If I get a radical, well, like if I don't ration it,
Don't what?
like if I get like 1 over the square root of 2, if I don't turn it into negative square root of 2 over 2, I'm negative 1.
I mean, that's not a big deal. You do need to get y value.
Yeah, I guess we. That's what if it's root like x minus 2. If it's root x minus. So what did I know? We have a root x minus. Oh wait. Then the domain is up until right. I don't know. Let's make my head hurt. We turn it always domain. Oh,
Just think of all the things you can
positive, negative, right? Yeah. And then positive and negative. Yeah. I did it right. Yeah.
anything that's greater than
I thought I was perfect. I was like, 3 over root 2? I'm
it's gonna be way
I'm doing my number line. I'm like,
Does that make sense? I don't want to subtract
what is root? Some random 2.1.
That's literally how I do it. I'm just like, what can I do? I can't even get negative. That's limit. Oh, I think it's just for fraction. It sounds right. Oh.
Fraction of the
Okay, 5 halves. So if I square 5 halves. Yeah. Number line. So I think I am too. Maybe I'm. Sorry, we're on different. No, this is negative.
Wait, really? No. Now I did answer you.
I am. What? Yeah, I feel like that. Risha, have you done the primary product? Yeah. Did you get a negative number when you were trying to test something?
Yeah, so I like to do.
I mean, did you? I did. Yeah, when you tested 4. You took 4? We can't have anything after 3. Oh, that's true. Well, you know, but when you test, you did 5 halves.
You forgot about the negative. So when you get out the negative, you will have half.
I think it's just, well, 25 over can't be in. Oh, that's a positive. Yeah.
Like you did, but you didn't. You brought the X out, but you didn't take the
When you factor out. Wait, so what are you doing? Yeah. So if I multiply these together,
just do it one step at a time. It would be negative X.
I got 9 minus 2. So, that's 9 minus 2.
So, oh wow. Oh no, it's negative positive.
But I checked it and like I redid it.
No, I have
emotional. That's my question.
I don't know, because I saw something on the top.
That's what I can do, but I don't know if I. Okay, so I didn't graph it, but I don't know what. Times that by a half. What? Well, I can look at that, but yeah, I can't use it. I can see it. Yeah, that's what I'm a square root of square is just the first one. Yeah, that's what I'm asking. Are you on the side? No, I'm trying to help the denominator. Is square root, so they can square that one.
Oh, we're laughing because he's laughing, bro.
Not even watching.
You can see first derivative with the negative positive. All positive? Yeah, no, I did that just so I could like.
You're right. I was just looking at that.
Five house. Square root 9 over 2.
Do you include the
Yeah, that's positive negative root. Positive negative 3 over 2. That's positive. Because you can even talk a lot of stuff.
How much time we have?
3 minutes.
Huh?
3 minutes.
I'm gonna pick a 2 question out of this 8, and some of them
I didn't realize there were more. Please.
2 question out of here.
Like to be exact question.
So just plug in like.
Could be very close, not exact.
One in each chance to memorize.
I'm gonna memorize all these exact.
Hold on for a second.
That was between my strategy.
2, 2, 8. That's cool. Positive. We select all of them.